What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and squirrels? My name is Pwn. If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you look into some other videos on the game, because I love the game and there's going to be a lot more. This video is kind of going to be a review of the game. That's what my What Is series is all about. It's about telling you about the game, but this is also going to be a little bit different from the other episodes, because this one's also going to be a basic guide to the game. So if you're looking into the game or you have questions about the game and you're thinking about maybe buying it, you may want to listen to this, because everything I tell you in this game is everything that I have stacked up data-wise up until now, and I can just upload that right to you guys. So let's talk about the basic stuff. This game is a first-person apocalyptic type survival shooter. The Nether are aliens, or extremely deformed aliens. I like this game a lot. I would rate this game an 8. I usually save the rating for the end. Pooyah, sparklers, fireworks. This game's an 8 to me, which is really, really high. It's available on Steam. It's PC only right now, early access, I believe. It's still a beta, and that's what makes it so promising to me, is because I love this game as much as it does right now. This could be the end result of the game, and I would still love it and play it for months to come. Obviously with breaks in there, but I would still enjoy this game, and that's how you know you have a successful game. Now, this game can probably be most directly compared to DayZ. Most of you guys, being YouTubers, know what DayZ is. I like this game more. A whole hell of a lot more. For starters, it's smaller scale. Even when they upgrade the scale and the size of the map, it still should be more fun. DayZ, to me, was not as fun for 2 reasons. The reason that I prepare and I love this game over this is the healing. I like that you can heal yourself. I like that I can actually hop on a game and play with myself, because I love playing with myself. I do it all the time, don't tell my wife. And I don't like having to need somebody else to get, you know, blood bags and heals and certain things. And I don't know if the new alpha's done that. I haven't played it enough to test that out yet. But that's just one of those things. I don't want to have to rely on other people, because there's a very good chance that somebody's like, hey, I've got a blood bag, can you heal me? There's not going to be like a friend zone. And there needs to be like a safe zone in that game for where people can actually do that to make that true. And it doesn't happen. In this game, not only can you heal yourself, you can even buy goods inside of what they call safe zones, where everyone is free to just sit there and nobody can hurt each other. So that's a cool idea. On top of that, the most important part about this game that separates it from the other ones is the fact that the Nether, the bad guys, the computer guys, these aliens can teleport. So they're a little bit more challenging than your average zombie, because, well, they can pop up through walls, and if you alert enough of them at one time, they can teleport around you, forming a big circle wall. You are officially the pivot man of a Nether circle jerk, my man. And that's what happens, is they'll just get there and you'll be stuck in the middle. You're like that chicken Night at the Roxbury that's getting bumped. What's up? Sup? And you're just getting pounded back and forth, and you have no other option but to sit there and take it. So, truth is, I find that appealing, and above all, what makes this game stand out is I fear the computer AI. I feel the computer bad guys, the Nether, the creatures, as much as I do as the players. I would run through DayZ like it was nothing. Oh, zombie, you're a random civilian, I don't fear you at all. Just walk by and wave at them. Didn't care. I don't think I ever, in the hours I pumped into DayZ, ever got killed by a zombie. This game's different. So now that you've heard a little bit about why I like this game and why I rate it so high, let's talk about some of the basic stuff that you need to know while playing this game. First things first, fresh spawn. You get a kitchen knife. For all you single moms out there, we got you covered. You're well prepared for this game. So, we're talking about, like, this is just crazy. Like, you get in there, you can see in the bottom right side of your screen, you can see all you need to know. You got your health, you've got your stamina, which is very, very important. You need to use that properly, because when you run out, it takes, like, 5 to 8 seconds or something to regenerate. It's kind of really crappy. And you also have, all that stuff you need to know down there. On top of the HUD, you can get a bar that's above your health from when you kill a person. Now, this is something to stop camping safe zones. This is kind of like a way to keep people from going super bandit on your ass. And when you kill somebody, you get their blood on you. And what that means is there'll be a little skull in the bottom right corner, and it'll have a number next to it to how many people you've killed recently. It eventually withers away, but not at a fast enough pace that it's going to make you happy. So basically, you have that stain on you, and what that does is it increases the radius and allows the Nether to see you from farther distances, which means you've always got something on you. If you're going through a city, there's going to be 10 Nether behind you. You've got a little tail following you if you have killed a few people recently. I like that. That's impressive to me. So that's another great feature I like about that. The spawns are completely randomized, so whether it be you die and come back, you're going to be spawned randomly around the map. If you leave the server and come back, you will be randomly spawned, so you can't leave one spot with 3 buddies and come back on a different server and be in that same spot. They do that to stop camping and other reasons, but also that's also a way that if you do get killed and you want to get back to your loot quicker, you can always disconnect and reconnect. I mean, the lesser of two evils. People go, you know, I love DayZ when you would die and come back and do stuff like that, but they cut that off. Let's talk about some of the other stuff that you need to know about the whatnot right there. You have your weapons. Now, you have any of the basic weapons from melee all the way up to your guns. Melee, simple. You know what all of that is. You can get anything from, you can start a kitchen knife to baseball bats, katanas, big-ass battle axes, the Grim Reaper. And those are very, very, very important. Do not look down on those. When you find one of those, get one of those because it's going to help a lot against the Nether and even other people. Now the guns, you have anything, you have the secondary and the primary. You have anything from the Haas 3, which is basically like a MAC-10 or a little Uzi, a little side pistol, automatic. You have the Smith & Risley 9mm and the and the Desert Eagle 50 cal, which I don't think anyone ever uses too much recoil. But you have that, then you have the starter ones, you have assault rifles, you have, you know, shotguns. There's even an automatic shotgun in the game. And obviously the ammo that fits for those, you can find that out by just going over, scrolling, and clicking on the weapons and the guns, and you can find what those apply to. So those are the basic ones. Find out which guns work for you. There's also, previously mentioned, safe zones. These safe zones are located across the map. Now, upon a little bit more research, I realized that the map is right now only a small scale. It's about to quadruple in size soon, to where all that darked out, grayed out area that you can't go to right now is now going to be a part of the game here soon. So these little safe zones are little areas where everybody can go in there. It's home base from you guys that used to play tag or hide and seek as kids, anything like that. It's a place where you can go and you basically have a server-side truce. You can't shoot each other. You can't do anything inside of there. You can't die while you're inside of there unless there's a certain event where the safe zone gets compromised. We'll talk about that in a minute. But inside of there, you have a few different things you can do. For one, you cannot die. Good thing. But I wouldn't ever recommend idling in there for reasons I just stated. But above all, you go in there to either buy and sell things or store things. So one cool feature about this game is if you wanted to spend an hour or two every once in a while to salvage up some gear and build up some ammo and stuff, you can do that. I hope they add in a larger global inventory box for more people that want to carry ammo, because ammo is really hard to stack and unstack right now. It's really confusing. But when you get inside of here, you can go to these little tent areas. If we're talking about the main one, every safe zone has an area, a global inventory, where you can go to your global inventory and you can store loot that you've gathered in that life. Because once you die, everything on your person is lost. But if I was able to get back to the global inventory and store that stuff, I can come back as a fresh spawn and retrieve that the next life, or keep that forever, however I want to do it, and start, I guess, looting for things and saving it up. On top of that, the save zones are really, really cool because there are certain items that you can find on the ground, certain loot. Loot is the stuff that glows. It's ammo, guns, you know, health, healing supplies, stuff like that. So with the loot that you find, you can choose to sell it to the vendor if you go to the marketplace, and you can get $5, $10. You can even find cash on the ground as loot, and you can use that to buy things, larger backpacks, healing supplies, food to keep your food up, everything like that. And that's pretty awesome. Food does get to be a pain in the ass, and it's one of those silent killers. If you're running around and you're not keeping your food and water up, it'll go away and it'll eat at your health bit by bit by bit, and it's going to drop and drop and drop, and you have no heads up that it's happening. I've been playing for a while. Oh, I'm at 1,000 health. I've been playing a half hour. Look down there at the bottom right, boom, 200 health, and I'm like, oh, I haven't eaten. Oh, they need to make a realistic tummy growl. We'll do a stomach growl. But that's one of those things. So you can buy things and sell things inside of there. Loot you can go through and find out yourself. Let's talk about another cool event here. There are events that are going on in the game. They'll pop up on your screen saying, blah, surge is happening. Blah, the Reapers spawn. And these are different things that go on the map, and you find out by pressing M on your keyboard. You bring up the map, and you see where the locations are in Basso Park or wherever else. There are loot drops, nether surges, the safe zones being compromised, the Reaper, and there are also just random, I guess they aren't really events, but there are packages inside of each of the safe zones, courier packages that you can transport to different ones and get EXP and stuff like that for it. We'll talk about that, not a big deal. But the loot drops are generally my favorite ones because it brings everybody out on the server to come through. It lasts for about 15 minutes, and every, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes or so, there's going to be a care package that drops in with randomized goodies. So it's for fresh spawns, they all come flocking to it. They're like, we got nothing to lose, maybe no one's there. There's always someone there. There's always 18 someone's there. It's always going to have people there. So they get over there, and it basically brings everyone on the server. It becomes a king of the hill, if you will. It brings everyone on the server together, and that's when you get your massive player firefights, because everyone wants a bit of that loot. So be cautious when you go into one of those things. On top of that, there are nether surges, which are exactly what it sounds like. Don't go play inside of one of those. If it's like, oh, by the way, hurricane, you know, so-and-so coming in. Yeah, let's not go play in that. It's a good thing if you want to stay on the outskirts of it and get some EXP and level up on it. For the most part, it's usually just an area for you to detour around. The save zone being compromised is a very, very unique one, and this affects everybody on the server. When that happens, the Nether basically take over the save zone. Your job is you have an hour to get inside the save zone and reactivate the shield. There's 6 pillars inside the main save zone that you have to hold down, and you should do it with a friend, but you should hold it down and repair them. And when that's all done and all taken care of, everybody can come back in and start using their inventory and everything like that. So that's another event. The Reaper is the big boss. He's kind of a pain in the ass. He lifts. He definitely lifts. He's a big tank. He takes a lot of damage. I had a lot of fun fighting him for the first time, even though I died, but my friend was able to finish off the last kill. He gets a lot of EXP out of him. He's pretty fun to go against. If you do it properly and you have another buddy with you, it's really easy to kite him around. They need to do something to make him a little bit more challenging. But if I shoot 10 bullets out of him, I pull aggro and I stop shooting, then my buddy shoots him, and we're playing ping pong back and forth with the big boss man. It's kind of what's happening. Since we're talking about him, let's talk a little bit about the Nether, the types of Nether. I'm not going to tell you about the types of Nether. That's something you should find out for yourselves, or something simple. And on top of that, we all have different nicknames. I don't know the real names of these creatures. I call the little ones, the red ones, or the orange ones, I call those reds. I call the screechers, and you know those. They're the women of the game. They're the women Nether, the ones that yell and vomit everywhere because they're pregnant, and then when you hit them once, they run away in fear. They're the women. They're the, and just as in real life for humans, they're the ones we fear most. They basically alert all of the other Nether in the area, and they're like, yo, come defend me, and then they all gangbang you. So those are the most dangerous to me. The golems are pretty big. We call them tanks, though, or I call them Vin Diesels. So that's, I mean, we all have our nicknames for those. You'll find those out as you go on. Another big part of this game that sets it apart is the skill tree. Now, as you level up and you progress, you get skill points to put into your skills. Now, these skills have different things, and when you get to certain areas, you get tiers, upgrades. Some of them will give you this and that. I always recommend when you're playing this game, the first point that you always put in always needs to be in melee. As you're a fresh spawn, you can kill any of those Nether one time, and you're going to be up to level 2. That first point, put into melee because it allows you to right-click and block. Blocking is essential. It stops all those basic attacks from the Nether. It'll allow you to save health while you're finding loot. It's the most important point you'll put in the game. Make that your first one. Then I'd recommend putting the next, I think it's 4 or 5 points into strength to get the additional 250 health. You may put that into guns if you have a nice gun starting off, or you got something from the safe zone. You find out what works for you because each of them have different abilities. So make sure you apply that to how you play and what you do. But that was my big suggestion for you guys. When you start off, always put the first point in melee. That's for those guys that are just now about to learn how to play. Blocking is so essential in this game. It saves so much health. So that's about it, guys. I've talked about the weapons, the HUD, what you can do if you grab aggro on people, events. You really can't outrun the Nether. The Nether are just outrunnable. They're Kenyans, dude. They're just going to take your ass down every day. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to smack that like button with your foreheads. And I would appreciate that. So tell me what you guys thought about this one, as it being kind of like a basic everything you need to know raveled up in one awesome little video commentary burrito. And hopefully I'll catch you guys another time soon. So stay moist, ladies and gentlemen. Go play Nether. It's freaking awesome.